Downing Street expresses disappointment over Trump's protectionist trade policies amidst growing economic uncertainty. Number 10 issued a statement on Friday expressing deep disappointment over U.S. President Trump's recent trade announcement, which has ignited a global trade war and sent shockwaves through international stock markets. The announcement, described by the Prime Minister's office as a historic turning point, has plunged the UK into a state of economic uncertainty, prompting warnings of potential tax increases in the autumn. The government's measured response contrasts sharply with the outspoken criticism from Foreign Secretary David Lammy, who earlier that morning decried the move as a regrettable return to protectionism unseen for nearly a century. While Downing Street refrained from using such strong language, characterizing the president's decision as merely disappointing, the underlying anxiety is palpable. This measured tone stands in stark contrast to President Trump's own assertions, claiming that Prime Minister Starmer expressed his satisfaction with the UK's 10% tariff. The discrepancy between the two governments' public statements underscores the escalating tensions and the deep divisions over trade policy. The economic fallout from this trade war is already being felt, with leading economists predicting dire consequences for the UK economy. Paul Johnson, director of the Institute for Fiscal Studies, IFS, delivered a stark warning, stating that the government's adherence to its existing fiscal rules necessitates a substantial tax increase in the autumn. Johnson's assessment, backed by the prevailing economic climate, points towards a significant rise in taxation to offset the negative impacts of the trade war. The scale of this potential tax hike remains uncertain, but the IFS's projection of a possibly significant amount highlights the severity of the impending economic challenge. The UK government now faces the daunting task of navigating this turbulent economic landscape. The repercussions of President Trump's protectionist policies extend far beyond the immediate impact on trade. They threaten to destabilize the global economy, potentially triggering a chain reaction of retaliatory measures and further escalating trade tensions. The looming tax increases, necessitated by the government's commitment to its fiscal rules, add another layer of complexity to the situation. The government must now formulate a comprehensive strategy to mitigate the damage, balancing the need for economic stability with the political sensitivities surrounding tax increases. The coming months will be crucial in determining the UK's ability to weather this storm and emerge stronger from this period of economic uncertainty. The situation calls for swift and decisive action, a carefully crafted response that considers both short-term damage control and long-term economic resilience. The international community watches closely, anticipating the UK's response and bracing for the potential ripple effects of this escalating trade conflict. The fallout from this decision has far-reaching implications, raising fundamental questions about global trade cooperation and the future of international economic relations. The coming weeks and months will be critical in assessing the full extent of the damage and determining the path forward for the UK and the global economy. The uncertainty is palpable, and the need for a well-defined, proactive strategy is more urgent than ever. The consequences of inaction are too severe to contemplate. The government must act decisively to protect the interests of its citizens and secure the long-term economic prosperity of the nation.